Alright, so get this. He uses bullets made of ice so that when he kills somebody, all the evidence melts away and it's untraceable. The Phantom Bullet. Is he a genius or a moron? Today on Comicology. So, this is kind of a strange one, so if you don't mind, I'm just going to get right into it. His name is Alan Lewis, and he's a reporter for the Daily Bulletin because, I mean, who wasn't a reporter in the Golden Age? He is also ridiculously wealthy, and he has a devil-may-care attitude about everything. He's not the type of person you would imagine would become a superhero, but if you thought that, you would be wrong, as you're about to see. As we see in the beginning, Alan doesn't care much for his job as a reporter. Instead of working, he is content to sleep all day long. He has tremendous talents, however, and his boss doesn't want them to go to waste, so he gives him a case involving some murder. Alan takes the job out of spite and goes to investigate the murder, but fails to find anything important, except for the fact that the killer's left handprint has 7 fingers. So you would think that 7 fingers on the left hand would make the killer much easier to find, but you would be wrong. Alan stumbles around on the subject for a while before just failing and giving up and then moving on. Alan then comes upon a feather, and this feather is now his only clue. He returns to the office to write his copy, but he can't put the case together in his head. His boss grills him, and Alan loses his temper and storms off. He returns to the scene of the crime where he encounters a shadowy figure. Unfortunately, before he can react, Alan gets jumped and is knocked out. His boss labels him as a failure and takes him off the case, instead assigning him to something much easier. He meets a scientist who invents an ice gun which fires bullets that melt away, leaving no evidence behind. Alan decides to take the gun with him and write the story. It's at this point where Alan gets the bright idea to use his new weapon to become a superhero. He makes a costume for himself and heads off to solve some crimes. He heads to the home of a wealthy broker who had been receiving death threats with intent to rescue him, when suddenly the same murderer from earlier shows up to cause chaos. This time, however, Alan is ready for him and fires an ice bullet directly into his chest. Now known as the Phantom Bullet, Alan makes his escape and the police arrive to deal with the aftermath. They are shocked to find no trace of evidence, but the broker, who almost died, is ecstatic and explains to the police that his life was saved by the Phantom Bullet. So now he's officially established, at least at this point in Marvel Universe history, he is the Phantom Bullet, and he makes a bit of a splash, honestly. The media catches wind of it, and things actually start going well for Alan for once. Alan then finds another wealthy individual who is being tormented by death threats. He waits in ambush for the messenger to arrive, and when he does, the Phantom Bullet follows him home where he interrogates him. He discovers that the letters are coming from a very specific address, the home of Alvarez Monez, an African explorer who is apparently very dangerous and very wealthy. He invades the tribal home only to discover that Monez has been using a tribe of African birdmen to enact his murders. The Phantom Bullet puts an end to their evil schemes with just enough time to brag to his boss about having captured the murderer. Wow, I don't know what to say about that. On the one hand, I think this story is really well written with good pacing and actual plot progression. On the other hand, the Phantom Bullet is a stupid name and a stupid gimmick. I do have to admit, however, that Alan himself is a very interesting character for the Golden Age. He's got an actual personality, you know? I love how he's apathetic, and everything to him is pointless. The fact that he becomes a hero essentially out of spite to the people who don't believe that he can do it. Overall, I think this guy's just... He's a halfway decent character who has tragically been lost to comic book history, probably because of a bad gimmick. But what do you guys think? Why don't you let me know? Is the Phantom Bullet a genius or a complete idiot? let's discuss in the comments. But until next time, stay safe out there, and you keep an eye out for those African birdmen. I hear they're a real killer this time of year.